you've said before you like to go home, think about it, watch tape, all that stuff. 12 hours later, any different thoughts about last night?
I think in watching it, we confirmed what our gut was telling us. I thought we had multiple opportunities to take the lead and didn't score early in the game, and we let a team hang around, and they took advantage of our mistakes. The positive was that we fought back and got a big power play goal right at the beginning of the period, so there were positives in the game. I thought we controlled overtime better than we have in the past. Shootouts disappointing again, but I think when you add up the fact that we were down with 2 minutes left and we found a way to score a big goal, we'll take the point. Yet I think we left a point on the table because we didn't capitalize on our opportunities.
I had a chance to follow up with PL about their comments last night about wanting more, now is the time, etc. And he was saying that it's still early in your guys' relationship, but he wants to be coached and he needs to know when he's doing things wrong, for example. Where do you think the status is of your relationship and able to communicate with him and explain things in a way that he understands?
Well, if he doesn't understand, then I'm doing a real poor job, because we've had our share of meetings. We have video, we have small group discussions, we have assistant coaches that deal with different situations, and we're over halfway through the season. So if there is miscommunication, then that's obviously on probably the sender, and that would be me, but I don't feel that.
I don't think it was miscommunication, but more he wants to be coached. He
Okay.
craves that. Do you feel that you have an opportunity here to maybe pour into him more to get that more that you want that you referenced last night?
No, I think we're pouring in. We're there. We're pouring in, and there's only so many techniques or moves that anybody can make. And at the end of the day, we've got to play the cards we have, and we've got to come out with a winning hand, and everybody has to be part of that.
Coach, what's the approach with the lack of scoring during a drought, and you're getting everything but the points and the standards after that? Do you have a different way of looking at the guys in the room, try to stay as positive as possible?
Well, there is that positive part to our presentation and our act, if you will. We want to keep the players confident. We know they're very capable of doing it. We've seen them do it in the first half of the season. As some of the non-successes, if you will, occur in some of these outnumbered rushes or breakaways, you can just feel them tighten up again. And we try to create some drills today in practice to make them feel good, loosen it up a little bit. But it still comes down to performing and in those tight moments being able to break through. And I'm confident we can do it. We've done it before. It's going to take a little bit of puck luck. It's going to take some polish. And it's going to take a little energy and excitement when it does happen, so it rubs off on others.
What are your thoughts on the progression of Byfield, especially from him having played wing and going more back to his natural position at center, and then maybe being able to interchange him in game as well and put him where you want to use him?
Well, I don't think we could be happier with the production and play of Quinton Byfield. The young man was put into a position where he had a ton of pressure on him, being a pick that high. Entered a man's league as a young man, and I think he was prepared to skate and shoot and do all the other things, but there's a lot of other factors that go into it, and personal points don't just roll out that way, and he's realized that there's a lot of things that go into the game, and I can tell you on a nightly basis he puts everything he has into that, and as a result he's scoring on a consistent basis. He's very confident. He feels the confidence that the staff and his team, the teammates have in him. He's in a real good spot as a young player on our team and in the league right now.
How difficult is it to maintain perspective? You're on pace for 99 points, but you're not playing like a 99-point team at this point in time. So for yourself and the team, how do you just kind of focus on the bigger picture, maybe?
Well, we have to look big picture, but we live in the moment. So big picture says that we've done some good things. We have had a really good start. We've fallen off a little bit for different reasons. And small picture is we're in one right now, and it's tense. So we can use the big picture to remind them of what they've done in the past. And we can use the small picture to push them a little bit and say, we've got to get it done now to get them out of it. So that's the combination of combining both, in my opinion.
Todd, when you look at the shootout, you ever considered maybe flipping instead of shooting first, having the opponent shoot first, just to...
Yeah, hey, it's, you know what, do you want to pick heads or tails?
Yeah.
Red or black? You know, that it really comes down to getting it done, both in the crease and shooting. And you know, you can go second if you want, you can go first. We just have to score more goals than they do. We can let them shoot all three if they want right off the bat. We got three coming. Regardless of how we approach it, we have to get it done.
Tomorrow night's a milestone night for Andre Kopitar with the ceremony. With the way things have gone, is this maybe an opportunity to spark the group, to have the guys rally around someone who's meant so much to the team over the years?
Well, that's a good point. You know, this has happened, I don't know, about 10 times this year already, so we had a lot of rally around Kopi nights. And I hope there's a lot more to come because he's an incredible human being and an unreal hockey player. But right now, we can't, you know, we can't just rely on that. We have to bring our game, we have to concentrate, we have to focus, we have to execute. And, you know, if that's going to be a trigger that helps us, then great. But if we weren't having Kopi's night, I'd still expect all those qualities to show up tomorrow.
Todd, going back to when you first arrived with Kopi, right, the team was bottomed out, right? So how's he helped you through the ascension of the last 5 seasons?
Well, I believe as a captain, you have to be an extension of the organization, not just the coaching staff. You have to buy into what's going on around you. And then you've got to take that, believe in it, and share it with the players. And it could be anybody from Adrian Kempe to Drew Doughty, somebody that's been around them for a long time that will come up with a question at some moment and maybe have a bit of doubt. And for me, Kopi's been able to sell what we've been trying to do. He's had help with Drew and a few others, Louis now back. But he's been a real good salesman of ours. And there's never been a day where he's come in and said, you guys are, you know, he probably thought it a couple times, you guys are on a different planet. But no matter what we try and incorporate, he tries to find a way to make it work. He doesn't go against it. If it's not working, he's not believing in it anymore, he'll come and talk to us. So that communication between us and him has been really good, and then he takes it and delivers it to the rest of the group.
He's remained one of the very best 200-foot players in the game, even at a point where, you know, he could have slacked off and chased some offensive times. What does that say about him and his approach and just the player he is?
Winner. I can give you a 100-word sentence and I'm good at that, but winner. That's what winners do. They do what they need to do for the group and the organization and the community, not always for themselves. And the more you give, the more you get. And Kopi's given a lot to his teammates and to this team, and in return, I'm not talking financial or anything like that. I'm talking about getting recognition from his teammates, from his coaches, pat in the back from a fan, ceremony tomorrow night. That's what you get in return. Winners do those things.
Today one of the maintenance days for him?
I'm sorry?
A maintenance day today for Kopitar?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a specific example at all that you can bring up on how Kopi is, how you lean on him as a leader and a captain, maybe off the ice, specifically in this kind of a situation where you guys aren't playing?
Yeah, it could be something as simple as, you know, we can be 32,000 feet in the air in the middle of nowhere, and I can see everybody's going like this. I may walk to the back of the plane, and we have to make a decision on what we need tomorrow. and he'll convey what the team is feeling, how, what the mood is like. Do we need, I call them clean out days, do we need to go hard? Something as simple as that. I will say that I may not use Kopi as much anymore because we're trying to develop some others in that situation. So when I do walk to the back of the plane, I'm not always going to Kopi, but started with Kopi and they see the coach-player relationship. So now when I go to Kempe, he goes, oh, this is what Ansi's been doing all along, I can do this. And then it goes to Moore, and then it goes to whoever else, and it's just, I don't know if it's a good, like monkey see, monkey do type thing. In the zoo, that my dad used to say that to me all the time. I don't know what it meant, but now I maybe get it. Like, so that's how it operates.
Learning from the leader how to be a leader.
Yeah, handing the torch over a little bit and teaching them how to behave in certain situations, and he's really good at it.
Obviously, Kopi's helped Q over the last couple of years. Drew's a different animal, but how can he help Brent moving forward?
Drew is a different animal. Well, I think that they have similar pressures on them. Now Dewey's got to look way, way back, just like Kopi did, but similar pressures arriving and being looked upon as a high-end player. Lots of expectations, some offensive talent and flair. I think Dewey was maybe a little further along defensively than Brent is, but Brent can learn that real quick. Just learning how to behave, but that the time or the era that Dewey and Kopi arrived in is way different now than Q and Brent's. I think that's obvious to all of us. There's been a lot of really good changes in the world right now. Not only the hockey world, but the world, and it's a little bit different. And sometimes Kopi and Dewey can learn from the two young guys too. So I think it's a real good relationship between the youth and the elderly, if you will.